Welcome back to the Torch and Key Apothecary. We're doing a general reading, so feel free to take this and these energies, how they resonate for you, and give yourself some space and some grace to come back to this reading later on, see if anything else fits. Although, because it's a general reading, if something doesn't fit, feel free to leave it for someone else. So we're doing a more organic or a more compact daily reading from what we do usually. And we're just looking at the energies that we're going to experience through the day, in no particular order. So some or all could resonate. If any of them do resonate, feel free to give me a comment in the comments below. Interact with this video in ways that will push it out to the world, and maybe other people will resonate with it also. So we're starting right here with this first energy, which is the Seven of Cups. Now, this is the energy of daydreams, of choices, of romanticizing our decisions, but on the flip side also feeling stuck. That paralysis surrounding making a decision. You can see here, and I'll hold the card up closer, that this is the apothecary. So you have multiple different opportunities that are facing you right now. These are different cups, different choices to be made, and some could be good, others could be bad. But the point is, they are ours to choose from. And you're being asked to make a choice right now, to bring something from the daydreaming sphere into the physical world. Because although these appear that they are behind glass, an apothecary usually has a door. All you have to do is step inside. I take it as a good thing that we are called the Torch and Key Apothecary, because these archetypes, these images, these stories, and these energies, they are all cups to choose from. So as you're going through this reading, find what cups resonate with you. Now, we're showing up in this energy with the Four of Bells. This is the Four of Swords. And the swords are all about the mind. Now, this is another card that could be construed as daydreaming, because it showed up here with the Seven of Cups. I'm inclined to say that there's a very dreamy quality about today. But it doesn't have to be a bad thing, because the Four of Swords also speaks to rest, to resting and knowing that you can pick those swords up at another time. Those bells in the window will still be there. But also in this depiction, with the bells, with the wind chimes in the window, trust that there are messages coming in on the breeze. There are going to be new thoughts and ideas that are found, not through action necessarily, but by resting. By resting and perhaps letting these cups come to you. There's certain level of action in the mundane world that still needs to be taken, but sometimes rest is the action. Sometimes the most clarity you'll find is being by yourself, taking a nap, just being in a state of mindfulness. I'm hearing, even if it's for like 4 minutes, find time in a relatively unoccupied space to just close your eyes and be mindful of the things that you hear. For most of us, it probably won't be voices. For some of us, it'll be the wind. But I think that moment of stillness will be enough to bring some clarity to our situation. Let's hop over to this next energy, because we are facing judgment. This is the awakening here in the Numinous Tarot deck. Now, this is calling us to a higher purpose. It's calling us away from something that might have felt aligned in the past, but perhaps doesn't anymore. There are new options to be had, and we are being called right now. I really feel like this is going to be the whisper on the wind, And perhaps you're already hearing this. So this is the time that I would start to be curious. I would look at everything through a new lens of curiosity. Because I think on the path that you've walked so far with this 9 of Wands, it hasn't been easy, and you've had to protect yourself and you've had to protect your energy. You've had to set reasonable boundaries. And I think this is coming to an end because the 9s precede the 10s in the suits. And the 10s are all about completion, so you are almost there. And for some of you, I'm coming up with mixed feelings because perhaps you have worked so hard on a path that you're already on. You have fought tooth and nail for something that you thought you wanted for a very long time. And it can be hard to hear a calling for something else because there is a lot of unknown. There's so much unknown surrounding a path you've never walked before. And it's not asking you to leap down that path in leaps and bounds, but it is saying to get curious because you are being called to something new. So perhaps let yourself daydream about what those possibilities are. What could this new path look like for you? So we're hopping over to the last energy, which is really a refreshing energy. This is the Dreamer of Bells. This is the Page of Swords. Now again, like we said, the swords are a suit of the mind and of thoughts, and oftentimes of learning. The Page of Swords is often a student. For some of you, this might be going back to school or pursuing some higher education. Perhaps the path you're walking right now, you went to school for before, but you're being asked to consider maybe what classes you could take, even at a community college level. It doesn't even have to be college. It could be a trade school. It could be a cooking class. So if that resonates, I would be on the lookout for higher education or just ways that you can learn and better yourself overall. Because a new idea is coming in. A new aha moment has been handed to us. And the pages, they've just been given this first step. They've been given this opportunity. But the job of the pages is to think what if. They're not the knights. They haven't taken off with the idea yet. But they are playful about how they use it. They are curious about, well, what could this mean for me? It has to take a physical shape in order for it to manifest, but it's in your hands now. Now, we've got another 9 here, and it's another surprise. It's another bells. It's another swords card. This is the 9 of swords. And I've been in this energy myself before, so I'm in the same boat, where these options might feel so loud in your mind, they might feel so scary that we create a prison for ourselves. And I'm hearing too, with these 2 9s, perhaps it's like that sunk cost fallacy where like you've sunk so much into the path that you're already on that then creates just a mental barrier, that creates a mental cage that takes the rest of this 4 of swords and it turns it into some anxiety that is so debilitating that you can't get out of bed. But the solution to the 9 of swords is action. It is getting out of bed, breaking this mental noise, this mental cage, by being curious about a new idea. I'm hearing that you will free yourself by being curious about something new, letting something new come in. I'm hearing don't take yourself so seriously at this time. This is just a beginning. You haven't walked the whole path yet. And changing paths is perfectly natural. But let's come up here to the advice. So for your spirits, your guides, your ancestors, they're telling us that we're in the energy of the magician. And the magician is oftentimes an alchemist. They take the tools that they have, these raw materials, and for us that could be our experiences on the path that we've already walked, and they are transmuting it into something greater in just the right amounts. They have all of the tools and they know how to use them. So what you've experienced on this old path will still serve you. They are still tools in your toolbox. See? They are the cups in our apothecary that we can use on this new path. But it's up to you to do this. And oftentimes the magician is a very playful energy. They can't alchemize things without first playing with them. Playing with the what ifs. And this is going to push us into a sense of hope, a sense of moving forward with the Six of Swords. Now, the Six of Swords doesn't promise us this new shore and these calmer waters, but hope in itself is a medicine. Hope is the medicine that drives us forward out of this cage and towards something that could be better. Already, it might feel better than the situation that you're in. And it's all about, I'm hearing traveling light, because the swords you're keeping in the boat are the thoughts, are the experiences, the things that you're taking from the situation, but you're not taking so many of your swords or your bells that you are being weighed down. Because here, these wind chimes, I think we took them from this Nine of Swords. We took the actual experiences that we had, the lessons that were in this path, and we're using them to guide us forward, but we're not taking so many that we can't move at all, or that we can't hear the messages on the breeze. I feel very good about this for all of us because I include myself in these readings. So I hope that this resonates for you. I can't wait to see what you do with this. We're in a time where a lot is changing. Paths are changing all the time. So comment below on where this is hitting for you. Are you going back to school? Are you changing jobs? Do you have maybe a new outlook on life? So I would love to hear all of that. And I will see everybody in the next video. All right. Have a good day.